So when we make these shift weights, we machine down the end of the weighted rod here down to 8 millimeters so that we can put a thread on it, and that way we can screw the rod ends on. We used to do this by hand, use a hand tap wrench and a die to cut the threads. Recently I picked up one of these die holders that fit into a drill chuck, and then the way this works is it can spin here. It's on a rod, so it can go in and out. It's hollow in there, so you can thread pretty deep. So this has a round thread die inside held with Allen screws there. Originally this came with just a knurled holder here that was about the same size as the die holder. And with this tool you have to hold it, and it was really hard to grab this knurled thing. It wasn't slippery, but it was just so small that you couldn't get a good grip on it, and it just really beat up your hands trying to hold this. So what I did was I turned a piece of 2-inch plastic here. This is some ultra high molecular weight polyethylene that I had. I just made a kind of a press fit hole in there and pressed the tool down inside of there, and then to give it a little bit of grip I just chucked it up in the lathe. I turned one of my threading dies, instead of pointing in this way, I turned it over 90 degrees and then just ran the cross slide past here and then just turned it and cut some grooves in there. They're not perfect, but it gives you something to grab. And this works really well here. Put a little oil on there and we get her turning. See? Clean out some of the shavings in there. I like to do it maybe 2 passes, because you have to go clear up to the end there, the end of the taper, before you stop. And that's why I like this kind, because you can let go right away. There's not a rod sticking out to catch on the side of the bed on the lathe. You just come in like this, and then you can just let go. I could thread this using the lathe threading capability, but you have to make several passes and you have to stop right here at this taper, and this does it in one shot. You get a nice perfect thread. You can go right up to the end and stop. And let's just do the other side here. So I gotta flip that around. I put this end in the chuck, put a little oil on there, and turn it on. Yeah, so basically 2 shots and I can get it all the way in there. And there we go, just a perfect thread. So now all I have to do is clean these up, and then we give them a coat of paint, and then add the rod ends and all the hardware to them, and we'll have these ready to go. So I'm making up 6 of these today. But yeah, that really threads nice clean threads. They go right up to the end of the taper, and they're just perfectly straight and lined up, and you can see it just slides right off the end of the shaft there. And just a die holder and get the chips out of there. But yeah, that works pretty good. I picked this up off of eBay maybe a month or 2 ago, and this is, well, the second time I've used it. The first time used it with just the knurled piece there. You think this was 30 millimeters diameter, and this is like 50 millimeters, 2-inch. Just easier to grab that. Grabbing this is really hard because your fingers are getting in the way of each other, where here you can get a really good grip and it locks right in your hand, and you don't have to over press, like that. You just can't get a good grip on that. So that seems to be the key to this, is just press that on. Just made a tight fit, and And then I press the tool holder inside of the plastic, and there you go. This kit came with, I think, 3 or 4 different dies. This is the M8 by 125. I think it had M6, M8, and M10, if I recall. I mainly need the 8 by 1 1/4 because that's what our rod ends are threaded for. And that's working really well, so I'll show you the finished shift weights once I get them all cleaned up and painted.